Hello and welcome. During this tutorial, you will learn how to send appointment reminders from your Centerpiece scheduler to remind clients about upcoming appointments at your center. Please note, this video assumes that you've watched the other scheduler videos in the online training center and are familiar with how the scheduler works. In addition, before you can begin sending out text reminders, you will first need to set up your SMS text account under the Administration section of Centerpiece. If you haven't done this yet and need instructions, please watch the Manage SMS Text Account video, which is also part of the scheduler videos. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Within Centerpiece, you can send out HIPAA-compliant SMS text messages to remind clients about upcoming appointments right from within the scheduler, helping to increase your appointment show rates. In addition, the confirmation code that is texted back will be updated and displayed on the scheduler and appointment form, giving you and your staff an easy, at-a-glance view of confirmed appointments. So let's take a look at how this works. Notice that I'm here in the scheduler for the Dallas location and I'm in Week View. I'm going to click here to close the task pane so that I have more viewable space, and you can see that I have several appointments scheduled for this week. Notice that for each of the days of the week, I have this Send Reminders icon that will allow me to send reminders for my appointments scheduled on each day. Also notice that I have these columns right here. First, I have the Consents to Reminders column, which we'll discuss when we look at the appointment form. Next, I have the Reminders Sent column. This shows me how many times I've sent a reminder for this appointment. And lastly, I have the confirmation column that shows me the confirmation code that was texted back from the client. Then over here we have the mobile intake column, which allows you to text electronic intake and consent forms to your client. Your clients can then complete the forms online using the mobile intake application. We don't have time to discuss mobile intake in this video, but this column shows you where your clients are in the mobile intake process. Please refer to the mobile intake videos to learn everything you need to know to get up and running with mobile intake. Okay, so you can see that I've already sent out reminders for my appointments for Monday through Thursday, and I've received confirmation on several of these. But if I scroll down here a bit, you can see that I haven't sent out my reminders for Friday. We'll walk through the process of sending those out in just a few moments, but before we do, I first want to walk through the process of scheduling an appointment so you can see the appointment form and the fields that need to be filled out in order to utilize the appointment reminder feature. In order to schedule an appointment, I'll first click here to open the task pane, and then I'll click on the New Appointment button right here, and the new appointment form will open. After watching the other scheduler videos, you're probably very familiar with most of these fields, so I won't explain them all in detail, but I will talk about the fields that are needed to send reminders. Okay, so for this example, let's say that this appointment is for an existing client named Carol Goodwin. The best workflow for filling out an appointment form is to first search for the client file. So I'll enter in a few letters of Carol's last name, and you can see her client file right here. I'll click to add it to the appointment form and notice a few things that just happened. First, Carol's name was added to the subject field right here. In addition, her mobile phone number, the client consents to text reminders checkbox, and her birthday were all auto-filled based on what was in her client file. Now, if this appointment was for a new client, this information would obviously need to be collected over the phone and entered in. But when selecting an existing client file, it will be auto-filled for you based on the information in the client file. Okay, so let's go back to the top of the form and finish filling this out. I'm going to first set the date to Friday, July 31st, and then I'll set the time to be 11 o'clock. I'll select myself as the volunteer, and I'll set the category as Options Counseling. I'm not going to enter in any comments, and next we come to the mobile phone number. Now, in order to send a text reminder for this appointment, you have to have a mobile phone number right here, and this checkbox has to be checked, showing that the client consents to receiving text message reminders on their phone. So since this was filled out based on what was entered in her client file, I don't have to enter anything in right here, so I would probably just confirm this information with Carol over the phone. All right, so under that you can see that we have a place for the confirmation code that is texted back. Now you might be wondering why this field is editable. Normally this field is automatically updated when a client replies with a confirmation code. However, if you don't have a text account set up, you can still manually confirm your appointments with the client and enter the code in right here. So that's why we left this editable. Okay, so to finish this up, I'll click Save and Close and notice my new appointment right here. Okay, so let's say that I'm ready to send out my appointment reminders for Friday. Notice that I have 4 appointments for Friday and 3 of them say that the client consents to receiving text messages. Sending out the reminders are very easy. All I need to do is click on the Send Reminders icon for Friday and the Send Appointment Reminders dialog opens. Notice that even though I have 4 appointments for Friday, only 3 are showing up in the list, and that's because the appointment that didn't have the client consents to receiving text reminders checkbox checked was not added to the list. Okay, so to send these out, I'll first make sure that my SMS text message provider is selected, and mine is. Next, I'll want to select the specific text message template that I want to send. Since we are at the Dallas location, I'm going to select the Dallas template. Now, if you need to take a look at the templates in more detail, edit them, or if you want to add a new template, simply click on the ellipsis button right here and the SMS text message template dialog box will open. From here, you can see the body of the templates. You can also click Add New Item to add a new template. For more information on adding new templates, please watch the Manage SMS Text Account video. Okay, so I'll close out of this, and the last step is to simply click Send Reminders. I'll confirm that I want to send out the reminders, and that's it. The scheduler is reloaded, and notice that it now says that I've sent out reminders for each of these. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the text message that was sent out. Notice my center name as well as the appointment date and time. Also notice that it asks the client to reply C to confirm or P to receive a phone call. Okay, so let's go back to the scheduler and notice that I've received a few replies. Let's go ahead and look at each one of these. Let's first look at this one with a C. Remember that our text message said to reply C to confirm or P to receive a phone call. So this client has confirmed their appointment. To get more details, however, I can click Edit on the appointment form. First, notice that the confirmation code is displayed right here, and if I click on the Reminder History tab, I'll get even more details. Notice that I have the date the text message was sent, who in the office sent the text message, the mobile phone number that it was sent to, whether or not there were any errors, and the reply that was texted back. Okay, so I'll close out of this and let's take a look at the next appointment. Notice for this appointment that we have a W that's displayed. This isn't one of my confirmation codes, so I'll want to take a closer look at this. Again, I'll click Edit, and notice here on the appointment form that I have the W filled in right here too. I'll once more click on the Reminder History tab to get even more details, and notice that I have the entire message that was texted back from the client. Now remember, the scheduler and the appointment form are set up to receive one-letter confirmation codes. So only one letter, the first letter, will be displayed in the appointment form and in the scheduler. But if the client does happen to text back a longer message, it will be stored here in the reminder history details. Okay, so I'll close out of this and let's take a look at our next one here. Notice that it says that a reminder was sent, but I don't have a confirmation. So let's again take a look at the details. To do that, I'll click Edit to open the appointment form, and then I'll click on the Reminder History tab. Notice here that it says that the message was skipped because the mobile phone number listed on the appointment was in the reminder opt-out list. The reminder opt-out list will allow you to enter in phone numbers of people who have requested that they not receive text reminders. We'll cover the opt-out list in great detail in the next video, but for now I just wanted to show you how it's displayed here on the appointment form. Okay, so before we close, I want to show you one more thing. Let's say that it's the end of the day and I've already sent out all of my reminders for Friday, but I get a late phone call and schedule another appointment. I'll quickly enter in this appointment information. I'll enter in a few letters of the client's last name, and after selecting her client file, her name, mobile phone number, client consents to text reminders field, and her birth date are all auto-filled for me. I'll select the date and then I'm going to go ahead and select the time of her appointment, and that's all I'm going to fill out. So I'll go ahead and click Save and Close. I'll scroll down and you can see the new appointment is right here. So for this example, I need to send a reminder for this appointment, but not for these others. So to do that, all I need to do is once again click on the appointment reminders icon. Again, I'll make sure my provider is selected, and notice that the last template that I sent, the Dallas template, is what is displayed here in the template dropdown. The Send Reminders dialog will remember the template that you used last for this location and will default that in the dropdown. Next, I'll uncheck all of these that I don't want to send reminders for, and then I'll click Send Reminders. Again, I'll confirm the send, and you can see that I have successfully sent out a reminder for this appointment. Once the client replies back, I'll see the confirmation code right here. Okay, well, that's about it for sending appointment reminders. Be sure to watch the next video to learn more about the reminder opt-out list. If you have any other questions about sending out appointment reminders, please click on the Help tab and then on the Sending Appointment Reminders booklet in the Scheduler section of the user guide. Thanks so much for your time.